This is Grant's Production, live talk show, coming to you direct from the city of Tacoma, the city of destiny, 37 miles south of Seattle, Washington, in the northwest corner of the United States of America. And now this.
To die is to gain, some might say, even to go to eternal life. Today I'd like to bring on the set live Mrs. Kitty Scott, CEO, Funeral Director of House of Scott Mortuary. Mrs. Scott, I'd like to ask you one question, please. The initial job as a director to bury a loved one, how do you aid in burying a loved one's fears of how to handle death?
Well, first of all, I've dealt with death, and my mother, and also my husband, which is recently in the last 7 years. And so, for me, it's all about my faith in God. I have to trust God. I have that hope that I will see Him again.
Yes.
And so that is what I always maintain in my life. As I walk through the day-to-day life, I just think on the goodness of the Lord and know everything is done for a reason. And so when I come in contact with different families, I tell them my story. And, you know, I said, I made it through thus far. And I know that God will see you through also.
So when a body is brought in, it's zipped up, it's closed, what often comes to your spirit when you first open that bag?
Well, usually I don't do that at first because I'm usually up in the office. But my boys, they actually take care of that. And so a lot of times we're looking for different things we need to know to make sure that there's no jewelry on the body and everything is intact the way it should be.
How do you handle death as far as parents such as myself that have lost infants deceased? How do you comfort a parent in your role as a funeral director?
Well, in comforting a family that has lost a child, and that's very dear to my heart, a baby. And so I have my feelings also. So I deal with it the best way I know how. And so back to my faith again. It's about God, and it's not about me. So, and I talk to the mothers as I give them some different information on counseling so they can get through. Because it's just not going to just happen overnight.
And the statistics for burying minorities versus other races, what are the factors that minorities could begin to afford the prices? Because I know myself, my daughter passed away, but yet I was unable to bury her with dignity. I don't have a headstone just yet.
Okay.
So what programs would you make available to the public?
Well, the programs that are available to the public, they have a Tears Foundation. And Sarah Slack is the president of the company. And she has, I believe last year, she buried about 123 babies, newborn infants. And so I try to keep the cost down as much as possible. So we go for different things. Sometimes we have a funeral service with a cremation. And usually most of the families usually cremate their baby. And so we can keep the cost down when we don't have to buy graves and things like that.
But yet that emotional cost,
you can
never be resolved.
You can never resolve that.
I have a question for you. I hear that within the community you have addressed a family that had a daughter as well as a mother die, and that the body, if I'm correct, is there at your facility.
She's still with me.
How long has she been with you?
I would say that she's been with me at least 3 to 4 months already. And I spoke with her mother, Mrs. Davis, and she said, how long can you keep her? I said, as long as you need me to keep her, I will keep her.
What can you do to bring this family closure, the Davis family, as far as burying their loved one?
Well, when they give me the word to go, and she's supposed to be cremated. Based on that, then when the closure is done for all the things that they need to happen to bring closure to the family, then we'll be ready to bury. But I don't think we can do that until everything has been resolved, because there's been so much hurt and so much neglect that was done.
Well, I guess later on in our segment we'll be able to address the Davis family. But thank you for standing in with the Davis family to attempt to bring the closure. And I'm sure with your expertise one day it will be resolved.
All right. Thank you so much.
I'm Vivian Grant with God's Crew. Until next time.